Didn't mind them. They're actually, I kind of like them. They taste like an Anjanette, like an anise. They have like that almond anise, like licorice thing going on. Also, my two neighbors were completely drunk, and the next day they didn't even remember eating these damn cookies. So let's not go buy them. People in the Hamptons, let me tell you something. There, there's a lot of heavy drinkers. There's nothing else to do in the winter. I mean, so sprinkle cookies, they weren't bad. They taste, there's like an anise. They thought they were dry. I mean, they're sprinkle cookies, they're drier, but there was like a licorice almond, like an Anjanette, like that type of Italian cookie. You know what I'm saying, people? I don't know. Did she do the Valentine cookies? But regardless of whether we like them or not, someone who lives in New York City drove them out here to the Hamptons. I'm like, are these for me? Because you knew you were gonna see me tonight. They're like, oh no, we just wanted to try the sprinkle cookies. So non-paid sponsor ad. So by the way, no joke, after the LA fires, I wouldn't be here able to like function if it wasn't for an air doctor. Best air purifier around, airdoctorpro.com. Use code VELVET for up to $300 off. And by the way, I got one for here in Sag Harbor and for New York. All my homes have air doctors. That's a sponsored ad. But here's the thing about sponsored ads. I don't just take anything. I truly, 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 truly would not have made it through my time in LA, that's 5 fucking miserable weeks, if it wasn't for the air doctor. It really, really changes the inside air. AirDoctorPro.com. Use code VELVET. Now that's a sponsored ad. Messy G, this one's on me. Otherwise, you got to pay me, girl. Where do we want to go before we wrap up? Oh, 3 minutes is all we have. Yeah, guys, I can't. Come on now. Um, you know where I want to go? This thing with Ciara and it just don't stop. It just don't stop. This thing with Ciara and Paige and Craig. So Craig was on Tamron Hall, and now he says, well, Paige was the one. And look, I'm really team no one. Now Craig says, well, why would you date someone? You either date them to get married or to break up, one of the two. And I'm not dating someone at this point in my life unless I want to marry them. Craig said if I kept dating Paige, I would have lost myself. So everyone's upset and this, but I'm going through all 5 stages of whatever. And yes, he seems annoyed and this and that. And Paige has now worn a shirt and she's dancing around saying girls can do whatever they want. I really liked this interview Ciara did recently where she said, like, what type of like basically, and I'm paraphrasing, but like what type of like 1950s misogynist bullshit is this where it's like Paige was mean and wouldn't move down south. And I'm like, she has a point. Why is it her moving down south? Like, when was Craig going to move up to New York? And Craig has even said recently, I was at my home with my house and my garden, and this is where I want to raise children. Again, I don't need to be right. I don't ever need to be right. I truly have an ego. It is self-worth, and I really, really like myself. I don't need to be proven right, anything. But I did say this is the best thing weeks ago that has ever happened to either of them, and they will both realize this. And I said to Craig, this is the best thing that has ever happened to you. Pretty much the exact words he used on the damn TV. You will meet a nice, wonderful girl who wants to have children, and Paige will meet a big dick, alpha, tatted up guy who pushes through the crowds, gets reservations, throws the keys to the valet, and lives her wonderful Northeast New York City life. They're both going to be happy, okay? But I love that Ciara also says that she prefers the audience of Summer House. She says, that she much prefers the audience of Summer House, and she gets Southern Charm because she too is Southern. So she understands that, but she much prefers this audience. They're more open-minded. But the part that and I do agree with her about, 1950s and this and that, but the part that I really like honed in on, well, she says she'll take Summer House fans over Southern Charm fans any day. They're super insanely traditional, misogynistic. They're old school, and she understands it. But she says now she throws shade at Patricia. How dare you, Ciara? Although I'm really loving this Ciara after the Traitors. I mean, when you were playing, like, listen, let me tell you something. You think it's all about me? I would kiss ass. I would be a small little shell of myself if I were in Survivor or Traitors or Big Brother. I would do whatever I had to do to win. So I would be like, oh, I'm not going to upset anyone. I mean, Ciara sat at that round table and she's like, I'm voting for who I want to. I am not bowing down to you and playing your game. And I mean, no one tells me what to do, and they never have in my life, and they certainly wouldn't now. And I was like, you go, Ciara. I'm really loving this Ciara lately. But she came from Miss Patricia, and because Patricia called Paige mean, and she said, "What do we mean?" She said, "And what's your definition of mean?" Like Paige is not kissing the ground that he walks on. She has an opinion about things, Ciara said. I'm sorry, but Craig had 3 years to move to New York and he didn't. And he had 3 years to buy a ring. I don't really feel like he bought a ring. Then she says about Patricia, I'll be damned if I'm an 80-year-old woman sitting on TV and coming for another woman saying that she's being mean to someone. No, no, no. Think we need to ask ourselves different questions. Ciara slammed Patricia. Wow, wow, wow. There you go. And Kyle and Amanda have done interviews, and everyone is coming backing backing Paige, and it's really great to see. I can't even get into the insanity that is Elisa Miss Big Lips Rinna. Oh my God. Guess what? We give an accurate description here. We are flip floppers. We take the facts. The fact that I love Lisa Rinna don't mean that she's above my criticism. And next time, I have a lot to say about her because man, Miss Rinna has been talking a lot. And I got some things to say to you, Lisa Rinna. I still love you, Melrose Place girl. When you put that kid in the car, that Taylor McBride put that baby in the car and drove away from Michael Mancini, and we never saw her again. And by the way, if you have your podcast to promote, darling, and you're going on every podcast in the world, why aren't you going on Still the Place? Heather Locklear just went to talk to Daphne and my good friend Laura Layton and Courtney Thorne. Go on that podcast, girl. We want to hear about that. Guys, I haven't been an activated David in a really long time. I ate a piece of lasagna today from the market down the street, and it was good. I love you all. There you go. Let's see. I mean, let's see. Is Andy going to confirm all this? Because I don't think so. Love you all. Have a great day. And Lisa Rinna, I got some things to say to you next time, darling. I love you, but I got some things to say to you. Mwah. All I care about is my lovely little listeners. Thank you guys for being here this Tuesday afternoon. And now let me go call Miss Frazier.